Is delaying your Social Security a mistake or one of the best things you can do in retirement? Today I'm going to show you a real life example of a couple who came in and wanted to know just that. I'm going to share with you the surprising decision they made and show you some of the things that made their decision very clear, like how longevity impacts your Social Security, how certain things in the Social Security system that they didn't know about can help them in retirement, and really weigh the differences between taking your money early and waiting until age 70. Let's get started. So the couple comes in, they are 60 years old, they want to retire at age 62. They had two goals, two primary goals, that retirement, 62, and also they were fairly adamant that they wanted to take their Social Security at age 62 as well. They wanted to start that income as soon as they retired. They had saved up about $1.1 million together combined in their 401ks. The first thing I tell them when they are wanting to take Social Security at age 62, I say, well, let's look at your Social Security statements. We look at their Social Security statements. If they begin their retirement or their Social Security at age 62, by age 70, about 8 years later, they're going to be getting $53,000 a year in that bank account of theirs from the Social Security Administration. And I say, but you know, if you wait until your full retirement age 67, it's going to be a lot more money. That's a little bit eye-opening, right? The difference between 52, 53, and $75,000 a year is big. And then I show them if they wait until age 70, that's going to be about $86,000. So the difference for them, collecting $53,000 a year or $86,000 a year, that's a $33,000 difference. That's not just 1 year. That's when they're age 71, when they're 72, when they're 73. Every year getting $33,000 more per year because they waited. I have to remind people that when we're talking about Social Security, there's a bigger goal. It's about maximizing what you do to just maximize the chances of success. It's good to look at Social Security, but not in a bubble. The three things that you want to do when you're with a retirement planner is understand. A good retirement planner is going to say, number one goal here is to maximize your chances of retirement success. Not screw the government and take Social Security as soon as we can. Let's really be smart about this. Let's really think about this. Once we maximize your chances of retirement success, now goal number two is what can we do to increase the stability in your retirement, okay? We know that the stock market can be really good. We also know it can be really bad. What we want to do is make sure that we get as much sources of guaranteed income in your retirement plan that when you need money the most, you're not relying on a good stock market to get that. We want to prioritize safety first and really get that income stability. Once we've done those two things, then we can focus on the things in the retirement planning strategy like the AIM retirement system, Roth conversions, tax planning strategy, estate planning, mailbox money, investments, all that other stuff. For the purposes of today's video, I'm only going to focus on one thing, Social Security. So we're not going to be talking about all that other stuff. The only change I made to their plan was this. Without doing anything, they come in, we put their information in, and we find out that without doing anything, just doing what they want, which was taking Social Security at 62, they had a 61% chance of retirement success. Their income stability was at 44%. And most likely, they were going to pass away at the end of their lives with $675,000. Okay. But there's only a 61% chance of that happening. In other words, this is dependent on a lot of things, including the stock market. We don't know what they're going to have when they die. So I made one change. I said, I just want to show you one thing. I made one simple change to your plan, and here's the result. Your chances of retirement success go from 61 to 93. Your income stability goes up to 64%. And believe it or not, you're going to have in the range of, again, we don't know what's going to happen for the next 30 years in the stock market, in the bond market, etc. But most likely, $1.8 million in your investable assets when you die. And they said, that's interesting. First question they asked me, when am I going to die? And I said, we are planning on you dying at age 95. Everyone goes crazy. I'm not going to live to be age 95. Well, by the way, what was the one change you made? Instead of you taking Social Security at age 62, I changed it to be starting at age 70. And that's when the questions started. So the first comment I already said, the man says, I'm not going to live to be age 95. The woman, she wants to spend her money. She says, right now, we're young, we're still active. That's when I want to spend our money. And then the man says, and you know what? Both of my parents died before age 80. And she comes back, she's still all about like having a good time, spending money. She goes, if we're not going to take our Social Security until age 70, what are we going to do from the time we retire at age 62 to age 70? Where are we going to get all that money that we want to have those good times? And then the man comes back with the big question that everyone also always asks, is the Social Security Administration going to be around in the next 10 years? Who knows, right? The way I answer these questions is very simply, you want money in the first 8 years of retirement. You're not going to start Social Security if you listen to me. Where am I going to get that money from? Very simply, we have other ways with your portfolio to give you that income you need in the first 8 years of your retirement that really is not going to be from Social Security. It's going to be from other sources of income. Don't worry, I'll show you that later. This question, is Social Security going to be around? I could make a whole video on, is the Social Security Administration going to be around? Episode 7 of the Retirement for Life podcast did a great job of explaining that. You can go to rflshow.com and check it out. I also covered the same topic about, is the Social Security Administration going to be around, in episode 10 of the same podcast. But very short answer to that is yes. The Social Security Administration is not going away. Both of my parents died before age 80. Well, that's your parents. They live different lives. And just because your parents died before age 80 doesn't mean that you won't live a long and healthy life. And finally, I'm not going to live to age 95. Here's what I always show people. First things first, when you're born here in America today, your life expectancy is 76. But I am not dealing with a bunch of 1-year-olds. I'm dealing with people who are 60, 62, 65. So the average life expectancy for a 65-year-old person in America today is 83, not 76, 83. I think too often retirees miss that point. 76 is for everybody. When I'm talking to you retirees, your life expectancy is much higher. And here's the other thing. Am I just talking to one person? Most of the time I'm talking about two people, and I'm planning for two people. So when you combine both people in that relationship, there is basically a 50-50 chance that one of those people are going to live to be age 90. And there's a 1 in 5 chance that they're going to live to age 95. So what the advisor does, or in my case, what I do in the AIM retirement system, is I start to give people scenarios. Okay, I'm just going to give you several scenarios about your Social Security decision, and you can decide and evaluate, and we can start to fine tune what our Social Security decision is going to be based on what you find out. So the first scenario I ran for this couple was, you both die early. I'm sorry, you're going to Disneyland and unfortunately the plane crashes. What is, remember, goal number 1, chances of success in your retirement? Whether they take their Social Security at 62 or age 67 or age 70, if they die early, in either case, they basically are guaranteed retirement success. Why? Because they're both gone. Okay? The Social Security decision does not matter if you're both unfortunately going to pass away at an early age. So then the husband says what the husband usually does, you know, I'm probably going to be the first one to go. I want to make sure my wife is taken care of. What does it look like if I go early, but she lives a long and healthy life? And I say I've run 2 of those scenarios, one where your wife lives to age 85 and one where your wife lives to age 95. You've passed away early, but she's lived a long, healthy life. And in both of those cases, your best choice, your best chance at maximizing retirement success is by you both waiting till age 70. And he says, okay, but what if the opposite happens? What if I'm the one who lives this long, healthy life and she passes away early? And I show them 2 more scenarios. And again, in all cases, or in these 2 cases, maximizing their chances of retirement success is them both taking their Social Security at age 70. So now the wife speaks up and she says, well, what if we both live a long, healthy life? And I say, I'm just going to put up all 8 scenarios up on the screen at once, and you can kind of digest what it looks like. And very clearly, the wife says, I can see that basically in every case, to maximize our chances of retirement success, taking Social Security at age 70 makes the most sense. And so this is what I say to clients. There's a million possibilities. This was just 8. So what we ultimately did with them is we took a deeper dive and ran a few more scenarios. What if this happens? What if that happens? And ultimately, they made the decision, which was the exact opposite of what they thought they wanted. They have decided to take their Social Security at age 70. It's difficult when dealing with Social Security because you just don't know what the future holds. But just always remember, when you're talking about Social Security, don't think about, boy, how fast can I get my Social Security back from the government? I paid into it for years. How can I get my hands on it as soon as possible? That's not the right approach. The right approach is, what can I do? What choice can I make that gives me the best chances of retirement success? Because that's really what the AIM retirement system is about. And they made a good decision, in my opinion, because they focused on this, maximizing chances of retirement success. I'll give you this. This is not them. This is just another fictitious example. But this is where Social Security decision really hits home. Not everyone has saved $1.1 million. Often, I've seen a case like this. Same couple, one decides to take it at 70, or do they take it at age 62? At age 70, and remember, what are we talking about if you take your Social Security at age 70 and you retire at age 62? The first 8 years, your investable assets, this is the amount of money that you have in your bank account, in your investments, in your retirement. This is all your investable assets you have. It slowly is going down for the first 8 years of your retirement. That's what the wife was suggesting. What are we going to do for the first 8 years? We're going to use your other assets in the first 8 years if you decide to take Social Security at age 70. But the beauty of it is your assets never run out. Your assets never run out, okay? Here's taking it at 62, great. You see your assets don't dip down in the beginning of retirement. But what happens? Remember the difference in the example I showed you? $33,000 a year. That $33,000 a year adds up because now what are you doing here? You are not getting $86,000 a year from Social Security. You're getting $50-something thousand a year from Social Security. And now is where you're dipping into your investments here on the back end and risk the chances of losing your retirement. This is my last slide, and I think it's important to remind everybody, don't make a decision based on a YouTube video about what you're going to do with the Social Security choice. Make sure you think about the options. Sit down with a level 5 advisor who understands that Social Security is best when it's not looked at in a vacuum. It's best when it's put in concert with a full retirement plan to maximize your chances of retirement success, to increase your income stability, and maximize multi-generational wealth. You could be that person who decided to take your Social Security at age 70, and unfortunately, you die in that plane crash, and your children are sitting there at your funeral, and everyone's sad, everyone's just mortified, and it's such a sad time that you're gone. Is anyone saying, gosh darn it, they should have taken their Social Security at age 62, they could have had more money in their bank account? No, because as we talked about, if you pass prematurely, your Social Security decision does not matter. No matter what, you have plenty of money. The break-even age here is generally around age 80, okay? But the main thing, the main mindset for Social Security is to protect in case longevity occurs. So, maximize the chances of your retirement success. Make sure you make a decision that does not allow you to potentially run out of money. Sit with a level 5 advisor. Look at several scenarios in your Social Security decision-making process. Remember that it's not just Social Security that you have to consider when you're looking at your retirement. You're balancing all these different things that we didn't even look at today, putting all the pieces of the puzzle together to do one thing, give you a great chance of retirement success. Thanks for watching this video on Social Security. I hope you watch more videos. Take care. So the average American retiree is using a level 1 advisor and doesn't realize it. That advisor has you in a 50-50 balanced portfolio, the same exact portfolio that has gone up 80% of the time over the last 100 years without any effort or impact from that advisor. That advisor is using the same funds that you can get for free at Vanguard.com, Fidelity.com, or 100 other places. So the question is, what's the advisor really doing? That level 1 advisor is certainly not doing in-depth Social Security planning. He's not doing estate planning, power of attorneys. He's not looking at your health care expenses, nursing home protection. He's certainly not talking about guaranteed income for life, Roth conversions, and not doing your taxes, or the other 15 things that are included in the AIM retirement system. The AIM retirement system is a 3-step comprehensive retirement program that brings you from retirement uncertainty to confidence and stays with you for your entire life.
Find out what real retirement planning is about at aimretire.com.